All right.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Homoglobin and Be the Match Digital Registry Drive. My name is Diana. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the National Events Coordinator at Homoglobin.
All right. Well, hello. My name is Brittany Rickman. I use she or her pronouns as well. And I am the National Director of Partnerships at Homoglobin.
So we're coming to you live from our bedrooms to discuss a much more worldly issue, becoming a donor and joining the registry for blood and bone marrow.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get started on that.
All right.
Hello.
All right. All right.
All right.
Sorry about
I'm
that.
sorry
We were
about
having
that.
technical difficulties. All right.
Can you guys?
So
Okay.
we wanted to, yes. All right.
All
And
right.
then
So I
maybe next.
covered up to the misconceptions. So, Brittany, can you tell us about the blanket ban on gay and bisexual men on donating?
Yes. So there's essentially a blanket ban on like gay and bisexual men, which doesn't really take into the account that the LGBTQ plus community is comprised of millions of wildly different people with their own sexual practices. So changing this policy is just one of the many steps our country and the government must take to combat this stigma and discrimination against the LGBTQ plus community. And we here at Homoglobin are fighting for that exact change.
Mm-hmm. And we are honored to be in conjunction here with the awesome Be the Match, a nonprofit organization operated by the National Marrow Donor Program. BTM is dedicated to helping every patient get the life-saving transplant they need, whether it be bone marrow or blood. As trusted leaders in advancing treatments for those facing life-threatening blood cancers and conditions, BTM funds and facilitates groundbreaking research, innovative technologies, patient support, and education that saves lives.
All right. And then with that said, let's give you like a brief little scientific breakdown of, HLA proteins. So what are HLA proteins, right? These proteins are actually a human nucleoside antigen that serves as protein markers on most cells of the body, right? And they are also used within the immune system to determine which cells do and don't belong in the body. So, what makes HLA proteins important is that they can be used for HLA matching, which is how patients can find matches for blood or bone marrow transplants. It's also one of the most effective ways to find a match.
Alrighty, so just as Brittany said, you're probably wondering why we're discussing HLA proteins in the context of the registry. So HLA proteins are actually race linked, which means we have a higher chance of matching with a donor of a similar ancestral background. The problem lies in that our registry is overwhelmingly white. You'll see later the statistics showcase how much easier it is to get a match if you are a white person, meaning that inherently you have a higher chance of matching with the donor and finding life-saving treatment. The problem is more evident with mixed-race patients. Jill Kendall Erb, program director for the Be the Match program at the City of Hope, says that, quote, bone marrow matches get more complicated the more racially mixed we are, and makes things much more difficult for patients. It's a very big deal because it means that you have a donor base, which is huge and vast and wide for Caucasian patients, but not for minority patients. Race is also not the only barrier for matches. Smaller ethnic and religious groups, like Ashkenazi Jews, also have a harder time finding matches. We need to fix this problem and give patients of all races an equal chance of receiving a transplant. To give you more of an idea of how difficult it is to get a match, biological siblings, have 25% of being a match. Yeah, siblings who have the exact same ancestral background still aren't guaranteed a match. This should show you how important it is to have a racially and ethnically diverse bone marrow registry. It is already so difficult to get a match, and by heightening the diversity in the registry, we give our entire population a higher chance of receiving life-saving treatment.
Right. So, what does it mean to be a donor? Well, what that means is that you found a close match with a patient once you guys are matched up. And it also increases the chances of successful transplant for a potential patient when you sign up to become a donor. So the online registration process only takes about 10 minutes, right? And completing it is done by returning like a cheek swab kit, which only takes a few minutes as well. And being a donor as well, it's also minimal risk for donors as to donate. So if you're worried about any complications or whatnot, just be aware that you are going to be taken care of during that whole process. And when you get that close match, right? For especially for like bone marrow transplants, only 1 to 5% of the donor's bone marrow is actually needed for the transplant. And this is also good because when you become a donor, and let's say you're from like an ethnically diverse background, or you are within one of those minority groups, by you joining the registry, you're helping increase the chances of a minority finding a match because you're adding to that diversity. Because the registry is quite overwhelmingly white. So it is very helpful when we have different racial groups join that registry as well. And then also, ideal ages for the donors is typically 18 to 44 years old. So that's pretty much the age range we try to shoot for when we're looking for donors. All right. And then when we're talking about common myths, so we talked about briefly about, how we had that deferment period that was put on men who have sex with men to donate blood. Would be the match they don't have that deferment period. So with that deferment period, that kind of discouraged some members of the LGBTQ plus community to donate. So it what we're trying to do is, you know, encourage people within that community to donate. So a common myth is members of the LGBTQ plus community can't join the registry and donate. That is not the case. With Be the Match, the absence of the deferment period makes it perfect for especially men who have sex with men to donate, right? And then another misconception is that it's expensive to be a donor. So actually, that's actually not true. So Be the Match actually funds the donor's expenses and they would help you out with that. So you would be getting that support from Be the Match.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, so let's get to the point of this live stream, getting you guys to register. So here are some really easy, like 5-second ways to register. You can scan our QR code up in, you can see on the slide, or access it on our website. Or you can go to join.bethematch.org/homoglobin21. And so you're gonna sign up, and then what happens? Oh, actually, you know what? Before we do that, I'm gonna show you guys the visual that I mentioned earlier. You can see here how drastic the disparity is in terms of registry diversity. The differences, wow, it's just really shocking how much more difficult it is to get a match as a Black American than it is as a white person. So, what happens if you join the registry? Well, a swab kit will be sent to you with instructions on how to properly swab your cheeks. We need your DNA to, get a match. And next, you will be matched. Typically, you'll get contacted within weeks, months, or a year to donate due to genetic complexity of matching donors to patients. We already discussed this. It is so hard. Even siblings can't even get an exact match, like a quarter of the time. 3/4 of the time. You'll be contacted to donate if you're a perfect match, meaning that you're the best genetic match for the patient and could be their only hope to find a cure. Okay, so here's a visual. Register, swab, commit. Yep.
All right. And now we're going to start our Q&A session with Jared Lipscomb. All right. So today we're privileged to have him join us. He's an extremely talented makeup artist and influencer. You can even find some of his work on the hit TV show Vanderpump Rules and on his Instagram handle at Jared Lips, which has attracted over 18,000 followers. His platform ranges from bold makeup looks to inspiring messages about his journey as a patient to mingling with household names like Khloe Kardashian. Jared is also a fellow Be the Match ambassador, and he's here with us to join us for a special Q&A session. So, hello, Jared. Thanks for joining us. Let me just pull you up real quick.
Right. Hello.
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 Right. So let's get started. As a patient, what advice would you tell our viewers who are still skeptical about donating blood or bone marrow?
I think the biggest thing is just to know how easy it is to do. When I was looking for my donor, it was like a 6-month period, and I was really nervous if I was going to find a match. And of course, there is a disparity because I am a white person, so the likelihood of finding a match was high, but we were still having trouble even for me as a white person. And so I got all my friends, everyone I knew, to sign up to do it, and it was such an easy test. The cotton swab in the mouth, I mean, it took literally seconds, and I got so many people to join the registry because of that. So I think the biggest thing is just know how easy it is. It's not painful. It's a little swab in the cheek, and that's it.
Oh, all right. So our other question is, what is it like to be a patient? And how has this experience impacted your life?
Well, to be a patient, I mean, it's obviously very scary at first when you hear the diagnosis, especially at the age of 31, to be like, oh, you have cancer. So obviously there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of, worry and anxiety involved with that. But then with the type of cancer I have, like with blood cancers and blood disorders and stuff, when you hear that there is a cure for it and it's just a stranger having to donate, because unfortunately none of my siblings or anyone in my family was close enough of a match to help me out. Hearing that someone could just say, all you need, you're just one person away from having the ultimate cure, it gives you a lot of hope, but also a lot of oh my gosh, am I gonna find this one person? So it's a very mixed emotions, and it's very it's just a kind of like a roller coaster. And then you find out you have a match, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this person did this, and is taking their time to donate their bone marrow for me to save my life. They don't know me. It's a wild ride, and it's definitely, it makes you my big lesson from it all is it makes me realize like how precious life is and that there is still good in this world, which at this time can be a little crazy. But to know that there is still hope and there is still goodness in this world, you know, and I have a stranger to thank for my life, truly. So
yes. Right.
Yeah, and in that vein, what does it mean to you to be a Be the Match ambassador?
well, I just adore Be the Match so much. The work that they do, the fact that they're out there like hustling to get as many people signed up on the registry and getting to diversify the registry. And when I found out that they didn't discriminate against gay people, as an openly gay man, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing, because, you know, because of what you guys were speaking about, the homophobic rhetoric of blood donations from the 1980s that have carried on to today. I was super thrilled to be a part of it, because like I want to use my platform as a gay person to show that anyone can be included in this. And I just love the inclusion of Be the Match. I think they're on the front lines of changing the world of like donating blood and that whole vein of like blood donation, bone marrow donation, anything like that. They're changing it and diversifying it. So it's really powerful to be a part of that that process.
Yeah, it's very beautiful, very beautiful. And you know, we were, you know, looking at your Instagram page, and we saw that you had this quote on your Instagram page, and it was, you know, the butterfly from the bottom of the ocean, that you have in your Instagram bio. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's from a Britney Spears song, because I am a huge Britney Spears fan. But I just thought, so I don't know what she means by it, but I thought it was so beautiful, because I love the butterfly, especially after this year year and some months that I've had of like transforming into essentially a new person. Quite literally, my DNA is changed because of the bone marrow that I received. So now it's like my hair is different, everything's different. So I have that metamorphosis of a butterfly. And then I don't know, something about that quote, butterfly from the bottom of the ocean. It's just so, it's just so bizarre and so distinct. Like you would never find a butterfly in the ocean. It's kind of like a 1 in a million chance type thing. And so it really spoke to me, and I love that quote. And I just think it's such a beautiful kind of metaphor for metamorphosis and for being so different, and then finding hope in the depths of the sea. There's still that hope and that beauty, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. That's really great. Yeah. I love that. Yes. All right. And then Diana has a question for you as well.
Yes. We wanted to digress a little bit from the registry drive and kind of learn about you as a person. So what inspired you to start makeup, and what effect has it had in your life?
Well, makeup's really changed my life. I mean, I started off just for fun. Halloween was actually my jumping off point. I love Halloween, of course, and I will be getting into costume later, even with just a party of one. But I started to do like makeup like that, and then I started to kind of diversify and do more drag makeup and like explore doing drag in my early 20s. And then I moved to LA when I was 24. And it really just it was one of those things, you know, I met the right people and they said, oh, you can do such beautiful makeup on yourself. Why not try it on someone else? And I'm like, that's not a job, you know, like that's not a real job. And they're like, well, in LA it actually is. So then I just worked hard and was able to, you know, meet great people. And I'm all about connections and feeling like the right vibe of people. And like, you know, so with my clients, the people I work with, they've all become friends. I don't work, you know, I choose very wisely. I'm very lucky that I get to choose wisely who I want to work with now. So now it's people that I want to surround myself with positive energy, with, you know, just great people. So you'll see that I work with a lot of the same people. I do diversify, you know, I will do new jobs and whatnot, but you'll see a consistent client base because I become friends with those people. And I really value that kind of connection that you get to make when you work with someone regularly. So it's really changed everything, you know, because you get to work with your friends every day. So it's really cool.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that is wonderful. So one of the things that we also wanted to ask you though, too, so you know how we're like wearing masks for, you know, this holiday season, right? So, you know, we're essentially kind of talking with our eyes. So what type of eyeshadow tips would you recommend for some of our viewers to do for a fun little like Halloween look, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Well, I have been doing a lot of posts with masks, like matching my masks to my eyeshadow. So I would start with that. If you can get like, even like, I love drugstore brands, like find a palette that has like, if you have a cute mask that you want to wear, or even if it's just one of those surgical blue or yellow ones, find a matching eyeshadow and start there. I'm not afraid to just like put the eyeshadow from the bottom of your lashes all the way up to the brow. Like especially for a Halloween look, like if you're wearing a little blue surgical mask, why not go bright blue all the way? I do have a little trick. I like to take a little tape and put it on my eye right here, so I can just kind of go crazy with the eyeshadow, and then I pull it off, and then I get the sharp wing look with my shadow. That's my like favorite kind of thing. You can do it obviously with concealer and take like more precision, but if you want to do it like a real quick get up and go, like just add a little tape, scotch tape, or a little, medical tape that's safe for your face, and then just go crazy, to town with that. And then you can always do like a classic black and orange little combo, black on the outside, orange on the inner lid, and then that'll be a perfect Halloween sleigh.
Oh,
Yeah.
love that. All right, yes. And then I also just wanted to make.
I might use those
Yeah.
tips tonight.
Definitely. Yeah. I love it. And I really love like your whole platform, and how creative you get with your makeup. It's really amazing. And like how you use like your platform also to, just talk about, your experience, being a patient and all those things, so it's really beautiful, the type of platform that you have, and we are very grateful to have you with us today as well. It's great. And I just wanted to make a little side announcement as well. I did add a little banner to our live stream. So it says text Homoglobin 21 to the number 61474, and you can also, that's another way you can join the registry. So you can use that text code to join as well. That concludes our live stream for today. Let me see. If you have any questions, you can honestly put questions in the little text box on the side. So we do have one question here. So it says, has Jared met his donor? So have you?
I have not met my donor yet. There's some rules and regulations around it, and I kind of don't know the exact rules yet because he's from Germany. I do know, all I know is he's 28 years old and from Germany. And so I heard that it's a year-long waiting period, but then someone else told me for European donors, it's a 2-year waiting period. But I do plan to start that process after the year is up to see, because I would love to meet him, and if he's willing to and wants to not be anonymous any longer, I would love to meet him and thank him and probably bawl my eyes out. But that is something that's on my agenda, so I'm really hoping that he's up for it, because I think the magnitude of that will be so special.
Aww. Yeah, that would be really great. I know they have like different stories about like people meeting like their donor, and how, I don't know, just how amazing it is, because it's just like, wow, like this person, gave me life, because they became a donor and they gave me a second chance at life. So I mean, it's with this whole live stream, we really want to encourage people to become a donor, because you could really impact somebody's life, and it is an easy process to do, and you're going to be supported all the way through. Be the Match is there for you, especially we talked about like one of the myths was like the cost that it would be like, oh, is it expensive to be a donor? No, Be the Match will help you out with that. So we really do want to encourage people to, really do that, and just, make a difference. So,
and there's no harm in joining the registry. Like the worst case is that you never get called to be a donor, and best case you save someone's life. So
exactly. And it's nice that we have you here too, because we get to see that other side, what is it like from the patient's point of view and how that's impacted your life. And we can see that it has impacted you very positively.
Yes, I mean, it's changed my life, and it's given me everything back. So
yeah, definitely. All right. So, and if you guys guys have any additional questions, we have that top chat open. We are open to answering anything that you might want to have for Jared or maybe for me and Diana from Homoglobin. So feel free to. If not, that pretty much concludes our live stream. It was really fun talking with you, Jared.
Yeah.
Really amazing experience.
Thank you so much.
And I hope, yes, definitely. And I really do hope you guys have a really good Halloween. You know, maybe take some of Jared's makeup tips and, you know, get a nice little mask and, you know, get all the matching
For Zoom
colors
parties,
it,
of course.
You know. Yes. So, thanks for joining us. Oh, you know, this is an amazing thing. Really, really wanted to, you know, uplift the LGBTQ plus community by doing this. So we hope you guys have a happy Halloween and thank you for watching. All right.
All right, thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you, Jared.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys. All right, bye.